How's it going, guys? Universe back again with another video. We are here with the Mig-21bis Sau in the German tech tree, pretty much reenacting the Laser M, which is the premium Mig-21. This video has been requested for quite some time. I wanted to get the Laser M, but the bis Sau is pretty much the exact same thing. And honestly, this video is more about 11.0 and less about the Mig-21bis. See, with the BR being increased from 12.0 to 12.3, I assumed 11.0 would be an amazing BR, considering it no longer could be up tiered to the highest of the highs. Like, there's still like a 0.3 boundary between the F-16C and the Mig-21 SMT. But even with the BR being increased, 11.0 is still absolutely cancer. The fact that a Mig-21bis Sau can play against F-16s, it makes no sense. I was asking myself this question, like, this is supposed to be a video game. It's meant to be fun and enjoyable. This is not meant to simulate some third world country that is too poor to be able to afford modern jets, so they have to fly out Mig-21s against F-16s. You know what I mean? This could be like real life, yes. Some countries going through economical difficulties, and they have to use Mig-21bises, but this isn't that. This is a video game. This is meant to be balanced and enjoyable, and yet somehow we're trying to imitate real life. I don't understand it, but we're going to have to deal with it anyways. And oh my lord, it is actually really fun because you are so handicapped playing the Mig-21bis against F-16s and F-4Ss. You just can't compete with the weapons. You just can't compete. But even with that, I'm still going to give it my all. F4S here. I'm going to fire off the R60. Go for gunshots. I get a hit. Real shatter. Definitely did not help me out. Fixed, by the way. And we're in the merge here. We're going to be in a one-circle fight. I'm going to pull up just so barely to avoid the nose and getting shot from him. But the F4S is just barely slower than me. So I'm going to use that energy advantage to continue to pull up and pull out of his guns. One thing that the Mig-21bis excels at that the F4S doesn't is one-circle fights. Due to the F4S being super heavy, it can't keep up, and with that it's going to drop its nose fairly quickly. Once I notice this, I put my landing flaps, and I'm going to drop my nose too and pull my guns straight onto him. This F4S has no idea what's coming, and he decided to go for a fight that he could not win. And just like that, I'm nose on. I get another shot, critical hit. The guns are absolutely so awful. One more time, and then I cut off his wing. And that's the third kill. Two other head-on kills with the R60 MKs, and pretty much that's the only thing you have good for you. The R60 MK, in and itself, is alright. It's actually really mid, and I don't know why, but the R60 MK has been one of the worst missiles I've ever used in so long. Now, obviously, I checked this last guy. He is a cheater, and he is bombing using AI. So I'm going to load up my last R60 MK off of him. I'm going to fire. This should hit, but it misses. He didn't flare. He didn't maneuver. It just missed. Luckily, my guns were on point, and I take him out. That's going to be 4 kills, and that's the end of the match there, and we win that one. I played around 10 matches with 11.0 jets, J-70, Viggen, Mig-21bis, and I think I had around 2 down tiers. And this is one of the games of down tiers. We're still in the Mig-21bis. I'm going to be spotted by radar. It's an F4E. The F4E does not have pulse Doppler, but even after chaffing, the missile still was tracking me. I don't know what went wrong there, but obviously chaff is absolutely useless. And I had to physically maneuver in order to dodge that missile, or else I would have been dead. And just my luck, more F4Es up in the sky. So I'm going to drop my nose and avoid getting absolutely clapped. And I have to chaff every once in a while, because if I don't, I'm just going to get clapped by a radar missile. And I really don't want to die, because there's no point. F5C straight ahead. I go for shots. I miss. I'm just going to extend away. I'm going to get fast. There's one thing that the Mig-21bis does well, and that's losing all of its speed. But due to its incredible engine, it also is extremely fast at the same time. The F5 won't be able to catch me. Matter of fact, no F5 will be able to catch me. I guess that's the one good part about getting down here to the Mig-21bis SAU, is that you're pretty much the fastest thing there, other than Mig-23MLs, as you just saw there. But most of the other jets cannot keep up with you. You are just so extremely fast, but you also bleed the most speed. I think that was something difficult to get used to when I'm playing the Mig-21bis, is trying to maintain my speed and trying not to lose it, because oh boy, is it easy to lose speed. Like, just barely there, doing a 180, and I'm down 900 kilometers an hour. And I was just above Mach earlier. Like, you do one churn and you just lose like 25% of your speed. That's absolutely cancer, but our whole team is getting absolutely dominated. It is a bunch of F5s left. Go for a head on there, I miss. I almost get killed in the process because I wasn't paying attention. I'm going to shoot off another R60MK off the F4. He flares and just barely dodges. Shoot off another one on the other guy. He flares it as well. I'm going to go for a gunshot. Luckily, I'm able to take off his tail, and he's out of the match there. But at this point, it's pretty much a losing fight. My entire team is pretty much dead. Yes, given we do have a couple players left alive, but I don't think they're going to be able to do anything for me. I'm a one-man army. I'm going to have to fight this entire enemy team by myself. And right now, I shouldn't be doing anything. I'm going to be running back to base. I'm going to try to rearm, refuel, and try to take this slow and take out as many people as I possibly can. Because if I try to dogfight people now, I will get absolutely clapped. There's way too many of them. And they all will just dominate me in a dogfight. Luckily, the F5 behind me does not want to continue to fight with me, which I am very grateful. So I will not be taking that for granted. And I'm going to continue to keep my speed up. Another thing with the MiG-21 is it rips extremely easily too. Another front aspect R60MK off in that F4. But luckily for me, or unluckily for me, he flares just way too fast. And the missile doesn't track. So we're pretty much a sitting duck. We now have 4 people chasing after us. And I'm by myself with 6 flare pops. That's right, 6 flare pops. And then I'll be out of flares. Especially in this meta where missiles are still being introduced to the average new player. I'm pretty much screwed, but I'm going to do everything I can to stay alive. And of course, I'm going to run to my airfield. I know a lot of people find that controversial and they think that is an awful idea. And it makes sense. Running to the airfield is somewhat scummy. But in a situation like this, there is nothing I can do. I'm not going to suicide bomb myself. I may be part of a third world country that's suffering economically, but I'm not going to suicide bomb myself. And obviously in chat, they let me know that I'm a pussy. And I'm going to let them know that the reality of it, it's a 1v4. There's nothing I can do. The only thing I can do is protect myself with my SAM sight. And the best thing that they can do is run away. If they want to win this, they need to all stay alive. And if they chase after me with my SAM sight shooting at them, they are just risking the game more and more. But yet their greed gets over them. And they continue to go. Mig-21 straight ahead. Front missile off, but he flares just in time. I flared as well too, so his missile did nothing. At this point, I'm going to do everything in my possible power to just maintain as much speed as possible. I'm low on fuel, but if I get slow, I will die here. There's a Mig-23ML, there is a Mig-21bis, and an F4J, I believe. And at this point, I'm outnumbered by jets that are pretty much equal, if not better, to me. There's nothing I can do except for stay fast. And hopefully they die to my air base, and I'm able to win this match. Head on with the Mig-21bis. We both miss. But at this point, he's getting slower and slower, and he's using up all of his ammo. I'm going to go for a head on F4J. Launch off an R60MK. And unlucky for me, he flares just in time again. At this point, I'm out of missiles, and I only have 118 rounds left. So I'm just going to stay fast, and I'm going to stick to what I have with me. And that is my air defense. Pretty much trying to keep me alive, and at this point hasn't really done much at all. Everyone else has been staying fast, and no one has died. And these guys want to kill me, and they want to kill me fast. The Mig-21bis looks like it's leaving, and it no longer wants to continue to fight. But the F4J is continuing to be greedy. I'm going to go below the mountainside. He's not going to be able to get a shot off on me. And, of course, he's just going to get even slower and slower. And then he's killed. Just like that, the F4J is gone and out of the match out of pure greed. They could have easily just let me land it. I would have J'd out. There would have been way too many people alive. There was nothing for me to do, but at this point, they gave it all up. The Mig-21bis got extremely slow and lost all of his speed. And in doing so, it's going to take him a while to get back to his airbase. Same thing for the Mig-23ML. And the F4J is dead. That's another person down out of the match. The numbers are slowly dwindling. Had they all gone back to base and all had their speed and all taken off pretty much nearly at the same time, it would have been a hellhole for me and I would have absolutely been clapped. You see, and this is the problem with jets. A lot of people have not built up any discipline. Most of them are greedy, and they just want to get as many kills as possible. And that's the unfortunate part for this F4E. He's extremely greedy. He wants to kill me, and in doing so, he's willing to suicide bomb himself, and in doing so, he doesn't even get the kill. He dies and loses. Obviously, if you saw in chat earlier, the enemy knows who I am, so the pressure's on for sure now. I'm going to have to do everything in my power to win this match. I would love to J out, but my ego is too big, and I'm a complete douchebag. So I'm going to take off, and we're going to give everything we got. Doing a little bit of flying now, and we spotted an F5. Luckily for me, he looks to be AFK, probably talking to his mom about how the fact that he hasn't done any laundry. I fire off a missile, and it misses. He didn't even flare, he didn't maneuver. The missile just misses. I don't know what's happening with the R60MKs or what, but it is absolutely cringe, and I dislike it. I'm going to fire off a nice shot from long range, and unfortunately for him, he did not maneuver very well, and in doing so, my shots actually hit. Extremely lucky for me, and he's heading straight towards the ground. That can only tell me one thing. Either I took his tail off, and he can no longer control his plane, or I took off his tail controls, and he can no longer control his plane. Either way, he's dead. And he's out of the match. That's an F5. One of the most formidable fighters against the Mig-21bis that would absolutely clap me is out of the match because he couldn't pay attention. It is absolutely incredible. And that's just one of the many lucky things that has happened to me. But we must keep going. There's still, I believe, 3 or 4 players left in the match. It is not over yet. I still have a Mig-21 and a Mig-21bis. And I believe it was an SU-25. It's definitely not over yet. We're replying to the people in chat, obviously, but luckily for me, I spot the SU-25. He is completely also not paying attention. He's going after bases because, you know, why not? Why not go after a base instead of winning the match? My R60MK is going to hit him, and he's dead. I did try to go for a gunshot here, but I realized it was a waste of ammo, and there's no reason. He's going to die. And the people in chat are talking about me. So, shout out to you guys, Char and Buddy, I believe it was. Thank you guys for the support. But they're on the enemy team, so I cannot be friendly with them. They must die, and they must die in the name of me winning. We still have 3 players left. Sorry, excuse me, 2 players left in Mig-21bis and a Mig-23. I'm unsure of both of the locations because of all the clouds. Thank you, Gaijin, for your awful update. So, I'm just going to have to do a lot of flying around, and it's pretty much going to be a waiting game. I'm taking a look at the surroundings. I'm realizing that if they go towards all the AIs in the middle of the map, they're at risk of being spotted. The odds of them going that way are extremely slim. Now, they can either go around all the way from the left side completely, but that is a huge waste of time. The only place that I think is genuinely smart and actually not a huge risk would be to go to the left side from their left. Pretty much my right, their left, which would be on the hillside next to the water. So at this point, I'm going to be completely searching for him. And luckily for me, I spot a black dot just above the clouds. And just barely, I spot one of the last players. And he is absolutely zooming. It is the Mig-21bis. It is Buddy. The guy has gotten 5 kills in the match. He's absolutely clapping cheeks. But unfortunately for him, he is not paying attention. And his cheeks have now been clapped. It is now 1v1, Mig-23ML versus the Mig-21bis. I'm completely outranked. And I'm going to get absolutely clapped unless I can be the better pilot. So I'm going to stay fast. I'm going to be keeping a watch on my minimap, and I'm going to do everything in my power to survive. And the Mig-23 has finally been spotted, and he's coming directly for me. He wishes to kill me with all of his might. I'm going to keep up all my speed. I'm going to get ready for the 1 circle. He goes for the pass. I'm going to pull up, force the overshoot. almost knocked my pilot out in doing so. And luckily for me, he knocked out his pilot. I go for the gunshot, and I get his wing off. And just like that, a 1v7 scenario went down to a 1v1, which ends up with me winning the match. And that's pretty much it for you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I will catch you guys on the next one. And yeah, thank you for the support, by the way, and the people in the game. GG's. Peace.